Shot the wire, OT, early bird, Nyron on the box. Man, we Tuesday. We ain't quite rolled into my favorite
we're
day
not there
yet.
yet. We're not there yet. Almost.
Almost.
Not
We're
there
gonna grind to get up to the top of that hill and
Yeah.
roll right into Thanksgiving.
yet. Mm-hmm.
Shout out! I want to thank everybody, man, who reached out to me for a happy birthday to my late mom. I really appreciated that. Had a great time loving on seniors yesterday. A lot of her friends from Sanchez and Lower Nine were there, so we talked about
Yeah.
O.T. Nettie, and it was a shout out to Freddie King and his mom for doing their senior luncheon. So
Yeah.
awesome. How you doing, Doc?
I'm great. I'm always good. I have really no complaints. I woke up, it's a new day,
Yeah.
new opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. You know, the news is still newsing.
Yeah, the new and Jack Smith dropped those charges. You know,
Are we shocked?
no, we're not. But
Business
but,
as usual?
Yeah, but it was without prejudice, and without prejudice is a
Uh-huh.
legal term where parties agree, but it doesn't mean that at some point
It can't be brought back up.
it can't be brought back
Mhm.
up again. So we all knew what was going to happen,
You know.
without prejudice.
But I saw that he did appoint his first melanated person to his
Well,
cabinet.
that's the black position, though.
Yeah, that's HUD.
HUD. Yeah, HUD.
Ben Carson. And,
It's like in business,
that little black job.
director outreach. Yeah, I'm the vice president of outreach. Right? That's usually. Or if
Is that considered DEI? I'm just asking.
Stop it, Don. They're not this early in the morning. Let's get through the news first. Or if it's in the city, vice president of governmental affairs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
Yeah. If it's a city, or urban city, then those jobs. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. My government affairs director will come see you.
I'm still
HUD.
trying to figure out. Did anybody check on Byron Donalds? That's
no,
all I
no,
want to know.
I was getting ready.
Did anybody
you took
check
the
on
words
him?
of my-
Like, is he okay? Huh? I mean, come on now, because
that man worked hard.
the sole of his feet got to be hurting. I'm just saying. Did anybody check on him? Get him a little Dr. Scholl's package or something, love
See, y'all,
feet warmers.
Say, listen, y'all hear this? Yeah, if y'all watching, y'all see this? Now y'all know Dr. White usually the serious intellectual. You see how messy she being
Listen,
right now?
I am not messy. I am just in the business of making certain that people check on people.
She
Like
got
this,
she dropping the tea.
we gotta make sure we check on each other. Somebody gotta check on Byron Donalds.
He's still our brother.
Yeah, check on him. Might find his email and email him today. See how you doing. You know.
You know what you remind me of, Don? You know what you remind me of? Ronnie Lott was a good friend of mine, Hall of Famer, defensive back for the 49ers. And Ronnie was famous. He would knock you out, hit you back when you could hit people, and he'd come over and ask people if
How
they're
you
all
doing?
right.
How you doing?
Hey, man, let me help you up. And then he'd do it again.
I mean, because come on now, there was a plethora of melanated folk, waving that banner very, very hard. And I think they did it with the intent to gain some inroads
I
with
hope so.
him. And he hasn't given them anything.
I don't have no problem with people who say, hey, man, I'm going to get my bag.
Yeah.
But
I think that's what enamors people to Donald Trump, because he just says it. You know, he can't hide anything.
It doesn't line up with anything you're doing. It
no.
doesn't line up with your principles. It doesn't line up with your ideology, but you supporting that person.
Yeah.
Just say you got paid.
And there's a lot of that going on right here. Right here in these New Orleans streets.
Absolutely.
And so for me, I think that there should be a line that you just unequivocally can't cross. Like it should be a line.
But
like,
if you're doing it for the money, just say it.
Just say that.
Yeah,
Well, because we could see it. Because when you go from Target to Chanel, like it's obvious.
You made me forget what I was.
You ain't even know
say.
Chanel. The 1, 2, 3, 4, or the 5. I mean, you didn't even know her.
You made me forget.
Now you comfortable in sex, right? Come on now, like we just know it starts with the Chanel scarf.
Right.
See, when you see them with the
Right.
little scarf first,
Right.
then they go to the
Right.
Louboutin shoes, and they going to show you because they're going to lift their leg up and cross it so you can see
That's
the
right.
bottom is red, right?
That's right.
But when they was wearing Target and stuff, they crossed at the ankle. You
Yeah.
couldn't really see what kind of shoe they had on. You
Yeah.
just watch them. You going to see them.
Right. Yeah.
You could put lipstick on the pig, baby. You still going to fry it up and eat some bacon.
Still gonna be. Byron Donald, if you're listening, 504.
What's your email so I can check on
we
you?
just want you.
I just don't see how you doing.
I'm getting ready to say the same thing. Just get out of my head
I
right
just
now.
want to check on you. Like, that's all.
Yeah, 504-582 942.
I mean,
we was just
that's all.
gonna check on.
That's all. I mean, at least let you put your feet up and check on, see if you got calluses or
Just stop it, Byron.
Just,
So-
we just want to check on you, brother. That's all.
You coming to the Bayou Classic, Byron?
No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't sell us
Uh-huh.
out and then come try to party with us. We not having that because you gonna stick out like a sore thumb. I know if I see you anywhere, I'm coming. I'm gonna say, how you doing, Mr. Donald?
How you
Any of
feel?
them? Yeah. I mean, I do that to the folk here who I know took the bag. Just checking on them.
Yeah.
So you looking good, like you got a
Yeah.
real barber.
Man, you're looking.
Uh, got yourself a real barber. You can afford the black spray now. You know what I'm saying?
In the news today, the Bayou Classic kicks off in New Orleans with the Good Times Economic Boost. It's more than just a game.
Listen,
Yeah, I saw
you okay, Oliver?
I saw President Gallo yesterday.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
Listen,
lunch.
what I
Rick
love
Gallo.
about WBOK, Oliver, is you can have real talk radio over here. You're
Yeah.
not gonna catch this sauce anywhere
no,
but
no,
here.
no, you're really not.
Nobody
Yeah.
else is checking on
There-
Byron
there's-
Donald.
There's nobody gonna banter like this.
Nobody's gonna
They're
do
not
it.
gonna touch the topic.
Mhm.
They're definitely not gonna. They're definitely not gonna use the Book of Wyatt-isms. Uh,
Now look, I joke about a lot of things, but when I'm serious, I'm serious,
Yeah.
and I'm serious about understanding that we have to know who our enemies are. We have to know, and we don't know who they are
right.
because they're masquerading as allies, and I'm serious about that, and I think that is what enamors a lot of folk to Donald Trump because he's making no mistake
No, he's
about who's on his side and who's not.
I had this conversation.
There's no issue.
I had this conversation yesterday.
Mhm.
He's transparent.
Absolute clear, see
Yeah,
through.
and you have to respect that.
That's it.
You really do.
And I
Doc.
really wish,
Seriously, you
I really
do.
wish some of the folk who
Well-
say they're fighting for the interests
More
of
people.
the everyday person
transparent.
can be that transparent and say, you don't align with what we want for most of America. You can't represent us.
Yeah.
And stick to that and go with that. But we don't do that.
But if you do, just be transparent. Say this is the reason why I did it because
'Cause-
there was an opportunity.
Absolutely.
for
Because
me,
when
for
you
my
know,
family.
people will have meetings with you, public meetings with you. Say one thing publicly on the mic and then go have a meeting after the meeting
Yeah.
and talk about what they really what the real plan is. And only a handful of people know the real plan.
Yeah, we're dealing with that in New Orleans.
That's
You're right.
that's why New Orleans
there-
is
there
in the
people-
condition it's
there are
in.
people taking the bag and
Yeah.
not and acting like
But they think they
Yeah.
can hide the bag
yeah,
though.
yeah.
You got a big old house with see-through windows now on one of the most
Yeah.
expensive streets in the city, and you want me to believe that you still come on now, stop it.
Oh, you're on the payroll. But that's okay. Nothing wrong with
It's
that.
insane to me
Nothing
that
wrong
we
with that.
allow folk to get, but like it's almost like it's Fred Hampton all over again. Like you know
Right.
what I mean? Like he has this plan. He's working for the people, and then somebody in his own camp, like somebody that's right next to him, that's in the rooms listening to the plan, hearing it out, and then they're gonna go sell him out, and then come right next to you and act like what happened?
Well, people
happened?
in the mosque killed Matt.
Yeah. Ain't no. I could say this with all of the
Allegedly.
nothing can happen to us unless they send us for us.
Allegedly.
Because if we protected us, they couldn't get next to none of our leaders if we protected them with the energy that we proclaim to protect them
in the
with.
Congressional Library,
Absolutely.
it was some of Dr. King's pastor friends
Mhm.
who worked with Hoover. So
All you got to do is look at the picture from the Lorraine Hotel. It's going to tell you more than what your eye could actually see.
No, hold on, I'm going back in the room.
I mean, the timing was impeccable, right?
Yeah.
Come on now. So, and then we wait 30, 40, 50 years for them to come out and say, oh, that really didn't happen like that. Let me tell you how it really happened. or 75 years, whatever the statute. What's the statute like? They write it in there and say
Statute
you
of
can't talk
limitations?
about this. Yeah, but I'm saying like you can't talk about this for 70 years,
Yeah.
75 years, and then the truth finally come out. Nah, I mean, we know the truth. We know the truth. There's so many versions of it that we act like we're confused about the truth, but we know the truth. And unless and until we exile folk who don't get in line with what is best for all of us, we're going to continue being in perpetual poverty, perpetual trauma.
Right.
You know, we're going to be fighting the same stuff every year. We can't afford our housing, light bill too high. Energy going to have y'all wrapped around a building, you know, trying to knock off a few dollars that they know you shouldn't be paying anyway. They're going to run your light bill up and say, all I could do is take off half. And you settle for that because you think they've done you a service. That's what's happening to us. Poor,
Well,
dumb us down,
well,
homeless.
the transparency, is, especially if it's something that's public. If it's a public decision
Yeah.
that you make, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but we treat our elected officials as if they are mafia dons and the Brad Pitts of the world. They're not celebrities. They're public servants, and I don't understand why it's taboo to talk to them openly in public or to question them. That's how you get the answers you want. To ask questions. I don't understand why that's so offensive to people.
Yeah, but I have a theory on that, and I've talked
Come on,
about
let me hear
that.
it.
I've talked about it. I've lectured on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm a political historian. I'm a historian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love to know the history of stuff, our existence, why, and then when you talk about systems. Here, when you read about other communities that don't have extreme poverty, right?
Yeah.
Louisiana has always created characters and iconic figures and celebrities out of their political figures because the system hasn't done much else to create opportunity. So my theory was that the social order has always been wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
It's politics, business, and people are last. Where it works, where people who I've lived places where I didn't know who the councilman was. If you didn't see it in the paper, you didn't even know who the mayor was.
Right.
Because it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Where it works, you have people, business, and politicians as a supporting entity, not as the number one entity. And it's to me that the tail has wagged the dog for so long because that is where the system has set itself up.
Yeah.
And that has to change because you are right in all seriousness, is that the stars are the people.
Yeah.
The stars are the community.
Should be.
And then the media buys into that narrative and drama because it's clickbait. They're able to get people to look at their stores for 15-second bites. So they create these celebrity characters, right? And it's more about their scandal than them doing or not doing their job.
Yeah. And I'm go ahead.
Line number one, Don, man. Happy rolling into Hump Day, Don. You're on with Dr. Wyatt and OT.
Yes, good morning. I had a question. Are y'all allowed to have sponsors like Dr. Wyatt, your dress and your accessories? Anybody sponsoring you, or OT, your cap and your hoodie? Is there any sponsors?
Well, before I try to figure out what you're saying, yeah. Look, and let me. There's nothing wrong with someone actually absolutely sponsoring Dr. Wyatt. I mean, sponsoring the show, or sponsoring a moment, or something we do, or something we push. Yes, you can, Don.
And why haven't there been any advertisement of the Bayou Classic? Is it just a word of mouth type of deal, or I mean,
you see what we see.
I'm trying to see all the white space on your wall back there. There's no one to get a prime advertisement spot. I'm just trying to say we can utilize our own.
Absolutely.
Great topic. Serious topic too. Don.
You know, word of mouth or media. We talk about media. That's what it means. Media.
Great.
And media or whatever. You know.
Don, you open that can of worms. Let me tell you the reality, right? This is a business here. Dr. Wyatt and our perfect spokespeople. We have constituencies. She have following. They're good. She's good at what she does. I think I'm pretty good at it, right? I've done it before. Now, you know, because of some of the ethics complaints and people who come in after me politically, it cut off a lot of that opportunity for me. Me and my family missed out seriously financially in terms of advertising, being a spokesperson of sponsorships, because people who are elected targeted me because they thought it would hurt me because of my relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's
Right.
nothing wrong for someone with doing that with Dr. Wyatt. But think about this. We have people who come on this show who advertise successful events, and we're kind enough to give them a platform, but they will not engage Dr. Wyatt to be a spokesperson, take out an ad or sponsor the show. What did we learn a few years ago when Wendell Pierce and Roland Martin went public about advertising dollars? Less than 1%, 0.1%, 0.1% of advertising dollars goes to black media, black newspapers, black outlets. And it's a shame, Don, it is, because they want to peddle their products to our people and they want us to purchase their products.
Right. The federal government, I think it's like in astronomical amount that they advertise.
That's absolutely
Each department.
yes.
But that's going to change.
So it's
even more so.
So it's city government and state government.
But is it illegal? Is it unethical? Let's say unethical for you to have a nonprofit that your money goes to your nonprofit, and that is the apparatus while you are perhaps in public life, not in public life, in private life. I'm just trying to juxtapose.
There are rules that govern 501c3s and different apparatuses and LLCs and stuff. But you have lawyers to do that can help cover for you to do that. That's engaging a lawyer to make sure that you do it the right way.
Right, because for even when competition, let's say that you're in a competition with someone,
right,
and that competition wins, it doesn't have the right in a free enterprise system to kill a business.
But you
have to through competition, and competition in and of itself. They say
right.
the old saying, it's not whether you want to lose, how you play the game. That's the ethical part of sports, the ethical part of business.
Well, everyone's
so I can beat you competitively, but I don't have a right to sabotage or kill your business.
Well, let
your
me say,
business has to come to the conclusion that the numbers are not meeting, they're not making out numbers, or the market is dried up. That's a conclusion that the enterprise makes, but it can't be a deliberate sabotage or a killing of that person's business.
Well, Don,
because a legitimate business I'm talking about now.
Don, we're going to go to break and come back, but that's a sensitive subject for me, because there are people who, because I'm an elected official, they don't care that I have kids and grandkids and a wife and a family. But listen to me close, please, because you opened this door up. They don't care that people hurt me, attack me financially, or because of this platform, or because of what I do. But you're absolutely correct, right? But even in the bigger picture, take me out of it, right? Why don't more African American advertisers? There are smaller stations than ours who get corporate dollars, who get corporate sponsors. And then the data is there. A couple of years ago when they did this study, they talked about the billions of dollars and hundreds of millions that the government uses to advertise that doesn't come here, doesn't go to the Tribune, doesn't go to the Weekly, doesn't go to Data News, but we all have following. So, hey, man, got to go to break. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Don.
We're going to go to break, and when we come back, I see Lindell is on hold. WBOK, 12:30 a.m.
What New Orleans is talking about.
And whose station?
Our station.
Yes, our station. They've been proud of it.
Find us online. Did you know that you can now listen to your favorite show whenever you want? How? Just go to www.wbok1230.com. Click on the Talk tab and select your favorite show. There you'll see your favorite host and the show from each day. And be sure to follow us on Facebook at WBOK 1230 AM, Instagram at WBOK.1230, and TikTok at WBOK 1230 AM.
NOLA Public Schools' main round enrollment for kindergarten through 12th grade is now open. With 73 schools available through the NOLA Public Schools Common Application Process, or NCAP, finding the right school fit for your family is easier than ever. List up to 12 choices to maximize your chances and apply by January 24th. We're all in, and we hope you are too. Apply today at enrollnolaps.com. That's enrollnolaps.com.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Join Inspire NOLA Charter Schools, Freddie King, Hancock Whitney, Six War Steppers, and more for 2 NOLA Love Drive-Thru Turkey and Ham giveaways. On Tuesday, November 26th, the first giveaway begins at 9 a.m. in Algiers at Alice Hart Charter School, and the second giveaway begins at 2 p.m. in historic Treme at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. Receive a free turkey or ham and food items while supplies last. We'll see you there. Learn more at inspirenolaschools.org.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
We are back. WBOK 1230 AM with all of this talking about
All day long.
Dr. Y. Let's go to the line. Lindell, good morning, man. Thank you for holding. Happy day before Hump Day, good brother. You're on with Dr. Y, no T.
Good morning to both of you. Good morning, Dr. White.
Good morning, Lindell.
OT. The same back to both of you. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy day before Hump Day. All of that.
Yes.
Hey, man, I'm not calling to cause no confusion. I just called to say hi this morning. Oh, and piggyback on what Don said. One thing Don didn't say, and I like Don. I want to meet Don one day, and at least have just a long sit down with Don. But Dottie Boletto, you know Dottie Boletto, OT.
Yeah, she's the marketer for the Bayou Classic.
They gave Dottie Boletto, no offense, but the white woman, control over more black events in the city of New Orleans at one time, Essence as well. More events that were supposed to be black events than a little bit. Sad part about it is that the welcome mat isn't as gracious for us as it is for folk like the Super Bowl and others who are coming around. Next week, or this week rather, when the Super Bowl comes, you know how those businesses complain about, the lack of tourism and we have to close because we want to do these specials or whatever, restaurant month, culinary and all this other stuff to bring in tourists. That is non-existent when the black events come. They shut them down. Oh, well, we're going on vacation.
We were talking about that yesterday.
They're under maintenance.
We were riding around downtown talking about that yesterday, Linda.
So, So when I make that comment, and I want to put this to it, when I make the comment of under black leadership, how blacks have failed, let's add that to that. Let's add that under that column too. We had black council members. No offense to you, OT.
Yeah.
We had a lot of other African Americans in charge, state level and all, and they gave this to Dottie. Couldn't take this. They gave this to her and her sister NJ, the one that's deceased. How they would give her, campaigns to run and all this other stuff.
Yep.
We've given away so much stuff.
Yeah.
And now we sit back and talk about it's how much of a shame it is that we don't have. It just behooves me. And I wish Don would have known about Barletta, because I'm sure had he known that, he would have come up with a little bit more and given us some more fire to go with what he said, or as Dr. White would say, the sauce.
But Lindell, it's interesting. Lindell is very perceptive.
He is.
He
Very smart.
He's been.
Thank you.
Lindell knows how to read between the lines. There are several African American local companies and companies in this state who were left off the Super Bowl list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who you would have thought, how did they not make it on this vending list? But then there are certain people who've been able to call people on the Super Bowl committee to get people contracts and work for people over people who are on the list and wasn't on the list.
Well, I think too, Lindell.
I know that.
This
for a
is.
fact.
I do too.
No,
And
Where politicians who are not African American
I do
can
too.
say, "I want so and so on the list,"
absolutely.
or to get some work.
But the problem that I have, the OT, I have to admit this. At a certain point, my man, here's where it has to go. That's why, look, I don't have a problem with, look, like you say, well, you're known in this area. I don't care as a grown man who gets pissed.
Right.
I don't care who gets mad. I don't care who I ruffle, whose feathers I ruffle. I'm a grown man just like you are.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. The thing of it is this: we have to start calling those names out, calling those folk out. But the problem is we're too
When I
afraid
say
to
it, I'm aggressive.
Hey, listen, this person did such and such a day on because we're worried about the fact of, well, they're not going to support me when I go up again.
Yep.
Right.
Or I
Yep.
don't want to ruffle their feathers and make them angry and
That's
do
what
this
this is
and do
about.
that. And that's why after November 5th, when I made the call, my statement was, I'm tired of being on the losing side. I'm
Yep.
tired of being on the losing team. I'm thinking about going on the other side only because they don't give a damn what they do or who they pick off or whatever the case may be. They're going for what they know.
If you
and for
listen
what
to
they
Dr.
want.
Wyatt earlier, she said you can respect that. People who transparent about what they do and
Yeah.
do what they do. Lindell, appreciate you, man. God bless and have a
Have
great
a nice
week.
one, my man. You have a good one, Dr.
All
Wyatt.
right.
You too.
All right.
So the point I was going to make with that is this: there's a comfortability with certain black folk in this city where they want to be the only black face in the room. So when they get picked, their job is to keep the rest of us out the room because they don't want you in the room with them. So they could. That happens every day. It's happening all around us right now. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be the only black face center. You want to be the only black woman in the room. That's a problem. That's the problem. If people realize that your gifts will make room for you, it doesn't matter who you in the room with. I don't care who I walk in the room with. Can't nobody out-talk me when it comes to education. That's how I feel. And if you feel like you can, then have a seat.
Doc,
I don't duck any smoke, none of it. And that's the problem with us. We continue placating because we want to make them happy while they continue to make our people worse off than they. There's no way we should be suffering in New Orleans.
this is going to ruffle a few feathers.
No, ruffle them.
But
Pluck them.
But you're absolutely correct. If that wasn't the case, the African Americans, the few who do have some money, would come together.
But you know what
they
we
would
do?
collaborate
You know
more.
what we do? We
Instead of
use the word
fighting each other more,
gatekeep,
they would
but you're
collaborate
not
more.
gatekeeping anything. You're giving it away to all of the wrong people. You ain't keeping nothing.
You got a master lock
You're
on the
keeping
gate.
us behind the door while you stand on the other side and benefit from selling us out. That's what the gatekeeping really is. I will never forget. When I'm gonna say this with my entire, I will never forget when I ran for Bessie. That was an experience like no other. If I didn't know, I know now what this is all about. Mm-hmm. And I was told to my face that I lost the Bessie race because I didn't kiss the ring of a prominent black woman in LJS. Ma'am, I don't even know you. But if you know that that's the way it go, why you didn't send for me? Why? I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know the ins and outs of this. I don't know nothing about politics. All I know is I have the credentials to represent this seat on the behalf of children.
I was told that I upset the black elite.
Listen, we have a serious crisis going on in New Orleans, and people, you know. But every time I say something, I get labeled. I'm aggressive. I'm confrontational. Why would you say
But
this?
you have your facts.
Come on now. The facts be facting, don't they?
Because if you don't have your
And
facts,
if I'm
you
wrong,
don't
show
say
me I'm wrong.
anything.
Better yet, sue me for everything I don't have if I'm lying on you. If I'm lying on you. It's sue me for everything I don't have. Because I'm sick of it at this point. Like, how many L's do we have to take before we realize we are the problem? We can't keep blaming it on those people because those people can't do us nothing without our complicity.
Let's stay there, right?
We are the problem.
I want Professor Wyatt to come in. Dr.
Okay.
Wyatt, because this is important now.
Mm-hmm.
Our shows always come back to something.
Yes, it does.
No matter what.
Absolutely.
No
Full
matter
circle
what
moments.
It comes back to a prominent point. For our listening audience out there, right? If you listen to Lindell, if you listen to Dr. Wyatt, if you listen to Don, any part of the discussion, Neely Fuller Jr. And the late Amos Wilson, legendary, iconic figures, mental health, psychology, right? Talked about a code of conduct and an agenda. If you remember in middle 70s when they had the African American meeting in Gary, Indiana, where they came to do an African American agenda, right? So, Dr. Wyatt, you're saying how many L's do we continue to take that set us back economically, socially, educationally? So we're losing ground in terms of housing. Other immigrant groups have surpassed us. Here in New Orleans, we've lost ground in terms of per capita wealth. It's 13 times worse than it was pre-Katrina. Black children are poorer. And with all of the masking around education, right, we're still not meeting the national standard when you talk about educating our babies or moving from one into the sector where you can take care of yourself.
Right.
So why don't we have a common? Why have we not come together around those issues? And so the importance of what you said is that, hey, guy, if you keep losing, maybe you should run another play. Go ahead.
Like I'm gonna bring it back to football. Do you remember when Warren Easton was in the state championship game? And if you don't remember it, I'm about to remind. Warren Easton ran the same play for 4 downs.
Right.
They was on a 1 yard line.
Right.
They ran that same play 4 times.
Right.
And all 4 times that's how they lost the state championship.
Right.
Because somebody couldn't think enough to say, okay, the first time they got us, y'all go back again with the same play. It's almost like you're showing them your hand and expecting them not to win. They're going to beat you because they know the game that you're playing.
It doesn't have to be
These folks know all they have to do is get one of us, right? Give him enough to make him think he got it going on. And his whole entire job is going to be to keep the rest of us at bay.
Well, let's go to the lines right now.
It's sick.
504-582-9422.
I don't want rough off it. I want pluck it.
9422. Our shows come back to a central point. If we're losing ground economically, if we're losing ground socially, if immigrant groups have surpassed us, right?
When you gonna realize you're losing?
If single black women still represent $5 per capita wealth, if black children, right, are not achieving at the right level, if Hispanics have surpassed us by 10% in home ownership, if they've surpassed us in home per capita wealth, why do
look at the black male population, and then look at the population that's incarcerated? And you're not going to tell me there's something.
But 50% is incarcerated.
Nothing's wrong with that.
Why do we keep running the same play? Line number 1, Brother Leon, good morning. God bless, man. You're on with Dr. Wyatt.
Oh, Lord, thank you for taking my call. I want to say, two wonderful people that I got 100% respect for. Right there on the phone. Brother Oliver, you and that sister right there. I'm telling you, that's all we got, man. I'm going to tell you something. Oliver, I be saying some stuff and they don't think I be meaning it. Or y'all better leave them two alone. I mean that. But look here, it ain't about that. Because guess what? I know that when that the two energies that y'all have, man, if some of our people have just a 10% of that, boy, them people couldn't touch us in New Orleans.
Thank you, brother.
But I'm just calling to commend y'all. But the sister, I see you all the time, and I see you, Oliver. I see you out there in the community. You don't know where I see you, but you always doing the work with a diverse group of people. And they say, well, he always working with everybody. He a councilman. What he supposed to do? He got to open doors for us. It's people that can open doors for us that don't look like you. For us, it's people that can open doors for us that look like us. We just need to get some of them out the way. But that's all I was calling to say.
Thank
Queen,
you, man.
keep doing what you're doing,
Thank
Queen.
You.
I already know, Queen. We got your back. You already know that. And Oliver, we already talked about this before.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna let y'all go, man. We out here in them streets.
Love
there you
man.
go.
Love you. Line number 2, Major Riley. Good morning, Major. You're on with Dr. Wyatt Moty.
Good morning. Y'all got me fired up.
Good morning, Major.
Why do we keep running the same play?
Same old play. This reminds me of 10 years ago when I started the Rouge House in the French Quarter, trying to, represent and provide a service just like any other business owner in a very profitable area, and was shut down. And this is after 24 years of serving honorably to this country. And I can't start a business. I get told, get out inward. We don't want you here.
Right.
You do all the things. You follow all the procedures. You read all the rules. You pay all the money. You go into debt just to have your little piece of the pie. But because of the color of your skin, the people in your government positions and the folks who are supposed to look like you, supposed to represent you and speak up for you, and you can't get anything done in a city that's over 60% African American. And in that 10-block radius, the French Quarter, the economic main hub for all things economic for this city and state, and we can't have any more than 2 or 3 Black-owned businesses in it. What's really going on around here? Thank y'all for talking about it. Keep talking about it.
Appreciate
and hopefully we can penetrate this thing and get something done.
Thank you, Major.
Thank you. Hey, guys, I hope people were paying attention. I hope you weren't paying attention to the emotional part of us talking about stuff without emotion. This was a very, very powerful and important topic. It was an historical topic, right? And the theme, I think, from Dr. Wyatt was, especially when she laid out how we got back to this point, was, why don't you keep running the same play when that play has a negative impact on your success?
No gains. We losing yardage. Let's put it in football terms for the people that like the Saints, because, they're paying attention to it, right? There's no reason. Some penalties you got to decline, right? So you could go back to the down and do it again. But we just don't. We can't see the forest for the trees, and I don't know if we're choosing to be blind to certain things, or if because I can't believe we're incompetent. That's just not it. We're choosing to be blind. We're choosing not to see it for what it is. There are a lot of things that we ought to play with, but our children should never be a bartering tool ever. They will never be for me. That's something I'm gonna dedicate my life to protecting. And that's what we all have to figure out. What do you have that is worth dying for? And then living for that. Why you can't figure that out for yourself? It can't just be your children, right, that you're willing to die for. It got to be everybody's children.
Proverbs 27.
It got to be all the
train
kids.
Up a child.
It got to be all the kids.
Your child.
But when you're calling for the death of children because they're making mistakes based on a broken system, that tells me that you don't value the humanity of all kids. I just don't get it. We can't see the play because I'm telling you, we're choosing to be blind. This chaos is profitable. I told y'all that at the city council. That's why everything around us is burning and everybody acting like, well, who set it on fire?
Doc, I want to ask you a
Where
question.
that smoke coming from? You don't know.
Doc, I want to.
Your partner lit the match, the one you voted for.
I want to ask you a question. We've talked about it here before. Over a decade ago, we started Mentally Speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Victor Sims was out there. I know he's usually listening. If he could call, because I think there's a part of mental health. Just because you have the appearance of being successful, it doesn't not mean that you have not been.
You know what I want to be next Halloween?
You don't have mental.
I'm about to tell you what I want to be next Halloween because it's passed already. I want to be the walls of Houston for Halloween. If the walls of Houston could talk, we find our way out of this. That's where all the deals are brokered at, huh?
Right.
That's where everybody having the real conversations at in Houston, huh? Over the what? What they ordering? That chicken?
Yeah.
That's where the real conversations are happening there, right?
So
I think I want to be the walls of Houston for Halloween next year. Somebody make that costume for me.
So Victor Sims, Dr. Shervington, Dr. Tammy Lewis Wilborn, Dr. Turner, Dr. Mosho, notables who've joined us here with the discussion about our mental health. Dr. Shervington says you cannot label black kids bad when they're eternally sad.
Yeah.
So they're sad.
Yeah.
Not bad. When you take care of the sad, then the bad
But
goes
also
away.
language matters.
Then the bad goes away.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Victor Sims says that in many cases, as prominent as we think we are, our actions are controlled by market forces, right? So, and as free as you may think you are, and you know, we've talked about this.
Right.
There's moments where we wonder.
Do you know you're free?
We wonder if it's worth it, right? How much of it, right, is the principles of Willie Lynch,
Mm-hmm.
market forces,
Mm-hmm.
what Tom Burrell says that they've pushed on us to all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce,
Mhm.
cheese, pickles, onions.
Conditioned.
And what do we? And that's where Neely Fuller and Amos
Mm-hmm.
Wilson were, the new code of conduct. What has to happen to stabilize or reverse that in terms of our mental health and our conditioning? How do we? Because as an intellectual and an academic, you set up principles for where people can learn in spite of,
Yeah.
right? How does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And look, we got to go to break, right? Pop, hold on.
But the quick answer to that is you got to be made of something.
Okay.
You got to be made of something. It can't be on you. It got to be in you.
Okay, and and how do we get to that? Pop, hold on. Important topic, guys. WBOK 1230 a.m.
What New Orleans is talking about.
And whose station?
Our station.
No, it's our station.
This is your news update for WBOK 1230 AM from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Expect a few scattered showers before noon, then partly to mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s. A few spots will develop patchy fog tonight as lows fall to the 50s. Wednesday has a small chance for scattered showers. Thursday has a chance to see thunderstorms with a low risk for severe weather. Highs, though, will be into the mid-70s, and a cold front will drop temperatures for your Friday. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Welcome to Chemical of the Month, a service of the community scientist and Rise St. James. This month, we're focusing on lead, a heavy metal that's dense, soft, and poses serious health risks. In Cancer Alley, lead exposure from industrial emissions or contaminated soil can significantly increase cancer risks and other health problems. Stay informed and protect your health. For more information, visit risestjames.org.
Life is made of unforgettable moments. Being with the people you love and doing the things you love to do. But if you're over 75 or 60 plus with certain health conditions, you're at higher risk for severe illness from RSV. An RSV vaccine can reduce that risk so you can be there for all those moments you've yet to make. Risk less, do more. Get started at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon to What's Growing New Orleans. Hosted by Angel Vanderpool, What's Growing New Orleans is a weekly conversation about developing and growing Black businesses throughout the region. Brought to you by the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 a.m.
We are back, right? WBOK 1230 a.m., which you listen to all day long. Yeah, yes, it's our station. Nowhere else can you have a conversation that gets back to where, no matter where it goes, it comes back to a central theme. Why do we keep running the same play? Why isn't there a unity of purpose around issues? It doesn't mean you have to be together politically all the time. It doesn't mean you have to be together racially or genderly or ethnically all the time. But if the play fails, if you're not gaining ground, right, why do you keep running the same play? Why don't we get together and organize around another play? Line number one, Pop Jones. You're on with OT and Dr. Wyatt.
All right. Thank you very much for
Thank
taking
you for
my
holding,
call.
Pop.
I made a mistake yesterday. I said if they had 10 like y'all. But they got a whole bunch of the great callers and the great co-hosts. Yes. My man, the G-Man, and his sidekick, the Jazz Man.
Yeah.
And Kim and Graylin.
Yes.
And all the other. But every time I listen to Dr. Wise, she just takes it to another level.
Yes, she does.
And what I hear you all saying, all of what you're saying, it comes right down to what I've always said. We could have solved a lot of our problems yesterday. I used to hear Dr. Al Mims.
Yeah.
Brother Al Mims called and said, it's an usism problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to that conclusion a long time ago.
Well, see, Pop, I think people forget, and what they're starting to see now, Dr. Wyatt isn't just an advocate or an activist. She is an intellectual, right? She's an academic.
Right.
She thinks about, she's been trained in terms of processes, right? And quotients, right? And formulas. And I think people underestimate the passion sometimes, and especially coming from a Black woman, right? If she's passionate, but what we do here is there's the passion, but then there's the solution, and there's the root cause of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody else doing that.
But do they realize what a great station do they have any other station like this in the country?
And that's why we're constantly under attack.
You travel all over.
Absolutely. That's why we're constantly under attack.
Man, and y'all, they don't realize, they don't just hear y'all here in New Orleans. They should support y'all 1,000%. They don't realize what a gift WBOK is to this city and other parts of this country.
Yeah, but it brings you to the financial part that Don talked about, right? Who wouldn't want to have the Dr. Wyatt as a spokesperson, right?
Man, for real.
You know, why did folk come after me to try to create conflicts that I was cleared of, right? This platform is important.
Oh, man. Is it?
Well, we appreciate you, Pop and Pop. Man, you ready for Thanksgiving?
All the time, man. Every day is Thanksgiving.
Hey, man, have a good one. If you know anybody got some good oyster dressing, holler at me, yeah?
Oh, well, no. I'm going by my son. I don't know whether he's going to have that.
All right.
He's a good cook himself.
Well, let me know if he do, Pop. Love you, Papa. Have a great day.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right. Line number 2, Reverend Calhoun. Hey, Mr. Mayor, you're on with OT and Dr. Wyatt.
I say good morning to you, too.
Good morning, Reverend.
Let me ask you something, Doc. Who controls the call of the play?
Who controls the call of the play?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
They got to be the coach, huh? It got to be the coach.
Well, when the coach was calling the players, first in Camara, everybody knew they had put 9, 10 people in the box based on that because they knew Camara was going to get the ball. Well, when the coach they got tired of those L's, they changed the coach.
But here's my thing.
Play.
Here's my thing, Reverend Calhoun. What happens when the coach don't give the ball to the best player? Because Marshawn Lynch should have a Super Bowl ring right now, right? You don't throw that ball on that down on no Sunday, no Monday, not even on Thursday night football. Do you do that?
You got to go back if you want to see change. You got to go back to the control.
Yeah, I got you.
The control. Even though the coach thought he was in control, it was up to a certain point that they removed his control or his authority, I should say. And that's when you start seeing the play change. Back when they had racism as the key factor and the states was controlling everything, the Jim Crow era, the plays got changed to give us, and the only way the play got changed, baby, was because of education.
I'm with you.
If you look at what's happening now,
I'm with you.
Education is being taken away.
I'm with you.
We don't have the control of education anymore. Education actually worked in our community.
Right.
So now you got to understand who is really in control. If we want to see change, we're going to have to talk about how to get control, who has the real control over what's being changed in our community.
But Reverend Calhoun, I think what Dr. Wyatt and I are saying is that don't forget about, right? You might want to change the policy, right? But I'm going to call an audible. And the audible,
if you're going to call that audible.
The audible is going to have a different effect because it's not going to say shall, it's going to say may.
Right.
And
when we know that the legal requirement is
absolutely
shall.
Correct. That is absolutely
See, and the
correct.
problem we got now, Oliver, and you look at it, just take MLK, for instance. How is changing the CMO, which what's been rumored is the organization that wants to maybe in that place of the current CMO, they're a C school. So you want to go from a D to a C? How does that then impact the children that's there now? Are you going to, just by changing the letter grade of the school, is going to make those kids that's there now move from a D to a C? I don't believe so. Not in the 4 or 5 months that's left in the school year. So I was just looking, like I said, to me, until we can talk about who's really in control.
Well, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. But the only reason why those people are actually in control is because a lot of people who look like you and I have given them the power of control over our children. That's the real quiet part. Don't nobody want to say out loud, but you understand. That's the part right there.
Appreciate you, Dr. Dr. Calhoun. God bless you, man.
You later, baby.
No doubt about it. Yeah, you can have a play run, but if somebody...
How you don't give Marshawn Lynch the ball?
Has an audible.
Who were you really trying to win that Super Bowl? Were you really, like, what's up?
The Beast. How you don't get
him
ball?
Oh, no, listen, I just knew when I was watching it, he got to get the ball. You threw it for real? Child. So that makes you wonder, like, people have the same uniform on as you. People warm up in the same locker room and on the same field, but are they actually playing for you?
You know what? I know we got to go to break.
Are y'all really on the same team?
But talking about perception and reality, like Marshawn Lynch is a great example, right?
Yes.
All he is, they stereotyped him, knowing that he passed that entrance exam to get into Cal. He saved all of his money.
Very, very smart.
He didn't speak so that advertisers would have to pay him to speak.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
That is
brilliant. Because all you told me was I had to be at the press conference.
He played
I don't
the
have
game.
to engage.
So when people started to contracting with him, they said, "Well, okay, I'll talk, but I'm not just talking because you want me to talk.
Yeah,
talking because
I have something to say.
Because I have something to say.
Yeah,
brilliant, no doubt about it. But power that stereotype.
Yeah,
power of branding.
And I just want to say this about this passion word, because I find that a lot of people try to demonize passion. Right,
yeah.
We're passionate.
Or they try to make it seem like there isn't any thought.
Yeah. Oh, there's always
behind
thoughts.
it.
There's always thought. Because
oh, you're such a passionate speaker.
Yeah,
I said something.
They try to demonize, or they try to devalue what I'm saying because I'm passionate. Well, I challenge you to find something that you're passionate about. You know what I mean? That make your heart beat, because I'm passionate about children. I'm passionate about the city. I want to see us, get to where I know we ought to be, where we should have been years and years and years. Like there's just no excuse for what is happening here. But as long as people like myself and other people get to be labeled and adversarial, and I don't let you say that to my face. You can't tell me I'm adversarial and confront. I'm going to check you about that. Because you are so accustomed to saying that about me to those people that you think you're comfortable enough to say it to me, you will not. And if that makes me adversarial, then that's your business. It ain't mine. But you're not going to say that to my face. I'm very passionate, yes, but I'm very factual as well.
With a formula. With a plan.
Yeah.
With footnotes.
Yeah.
With historical documents. With fact check.
The receipts be receipting.
I see, going back to that tea. That's how we started. You see that? You see that? Hey,
the tea is piping hot. You want a cup?
WBOK 1230 AM.
What New Orleans is talking about.
Whose station?
Our station.
It's our station, baby. We'll be back. Candace Brock, Bayou Classic spokesperson, after the break.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans. Home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Morgan Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Border Czar Tom Homan is set to meet with Republican Governor Greg Abbott and other lawmakers in South Texas to discuss the border situation. The average cost of a full Thanksgiving meal is 5% lower this year. The latest report from the Texas Farm Bureau cited a big drop in the price of turkey, suggesting there are plenty of birds, but demand is down. Demure is the 2024 Dictionary.com word of the year, following popularity of the phrase very demure, very mindful in a series of TikTok videos. It describes someone who seems sophisticated. And the Baltimore Ravens picked up a win over the LA Chargers on Monday Night Football. Baltimore defeated LA 30-23 in an AFC clash at SoFi Stadium. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
New Schools for New Orleans, along with Allstate Sugar Bowl and Entergy New Orleans, would like to send a huge congratulations to our class of 2024 New Orleans Excellence in Teaching Award honorees. This year, we had 90 Teachers of the Year from each public school in New Orleans. Each of them was recognized at our annual gala, where we had over 350 attendees. We're excited to also share that each honoree is receiving a $1,000 classroom grant. Thank you for everything you do, teachers.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
Top of the hour, man. We want to thank everyone who engaged. Right, it's a talk show. What you doing? Talk show?
Yeah, talk.
We talk. Right? Yeah. Express things.
Agreement is not mandatory.
Yeah, it's really not. It's a conversation, and how we say we conversate.
Yeah.
And we conversated with a purpose, right? So thank y'all for participating in our conversation. But not my conversation right now, the 50th anniversary of the Bayou Classic, Miss Candace Brock. Welcome to the Good Morning Show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much, man. First of all, who is Candace Brock and how are you doing? And why, like you, so many of us, are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, yes, I am the Bayou Classic spokesperson, and I have to tell you, I am so looking forward to this event because I am someone who has attended Bayou Classic for years. And so I went, when I was little, my parents brought me, my uncle has brought me when I got a little older. I went in high school and college. And so now to be able to work for Bayou Classic and to spread the word of just how energetic and exciting this event is, I am so happy and thankful to do it.
So is this year 50 or 51?
This is 51.
Okay,
51. Mm-hmm. So how does it feel to be a part of such a long-standing tradition in the city of New Orleans?
Man, it's amazing because this event here, it celebrates more than just football. It's about family and all the different traditions that surround, historically Black colleges and universities. So it's so amazing when you just see people of all ages who attend this event. What I really love hearing and seeing is when you have families who come and, they have a history of family who have attended these HBCUs. So it's one of those where, their grandparents went, then they went, their children are planning to go. And so it just helps to really keep the tradition of HBCUs alive and really just showcase all of the traditions that come along with that.
So can you tell us about the significance of the 51st anniversary for the Bayou Classic and how it sets this year's events apart from previous years?
Absolutely. Well, last year was our 50th anniversary and we did it really big. But this year, by it being 51, we're going even bigger. So we have so many different events and activities. Yesterday we kicked off things with our press conference. That was huge. We had some of the Zulu Tramps come out. One was dressed for the Southern and one was dressed for Grambling. So beautiful, beautiful attire. And then we just really, set the tone for what this week was going to be like. Now, on Thursday, we have our Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's a huge event. It rolls through downtown. We've got signature floats and throws for that with more than 40 total units. We also have Business at Bayou. That's on Friday. It's for small Black businesses. It's going to be at the Hyatt Regency, New Orleans. And so it just is an opportunity to showcase those small Black businesses. So we definitely encourage everyone, students, alumni, and visitors, come on out, stop by that. You can network and just support those local small Black businesses. We also have the Bayou Classic Coaches Luncheon. And, of course, Friday, Battle of the Bands and the Greek Show. So much that happens with that. And this year for the Battle of the Bands and Greek Show, it's our third annual Classic Invitational High School Battle of the Bands. And what I really like about that is we invite some of our local high school bands to come and compete, and then they can win some amazing music education prizes and trophies. And it lets them experience what it'll be like to continue their career in band if they'd like to attend either Grambling or Southern, what it would be like to join one of those bands and how your experience could be in that band. So that's really big. And then, of course, the Greek Show, where we have those traditional Greek organizations get to showcase their skills. And then, of course, Saturday, always a big day. This year, we've got our Bayou Classic Fan Fest, absolutely free. That starts at 9 a.m. in Champion Square. And we've announced some really big acts for that. This year, we're bringing out the biggest boss, Rick Ross. So he'll be performing at the Fan Fest. So you certainly want to get out there and see that. It's absolutely free. And then, of course, doors open at 11:30. 1 p.m. is kickoff time for the game. We've got Corinne Hawthorne singing the national anthem. And then, of course, for the halftime show, you just never know what special act you might get. That's presented by Coca-Cola. And although the game will be aired on national TV, I encourage everyone to get their tickets and see it for yourself because you got to be in the building to feel the energy and the love of that game,
Yeah, Ms. Brock, I want to visit this because as we're talking, I'm thinking about the history of the game, when it started, the many of the events I've attended, and it's the relationship to other events. It seems to me they used to call the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of all those games. But the Bayou Classic has had a profound impact on events, from Super Bowl to games. No one else has laid out an event that more than just a game, from concerts to but talk about the impact that the Bayou Classic and this event, the people who created this event, have had on other sporting events. So All-Star games, the Super Bowls, they all seem to now mimic what the Bayou Classic started as more than just a game.
Yeah, we definitely make sure to make it more than a game. I mean, it brings more than 200,000 visitors to New Orleans annually. And so, that's a huge deal. Not only that, Bayou Classic generates an estimated $26.5 million in overall economic output for the state of Louisiana, including over 200 jobs for the state of Louisiana, mine included. So, we made sure to make this more than just one day, one game, but something that has an impact on not just the city of New Orleans, but the state of Louisiana, a way to impact even families and children as they grow, so we can showcase
but do y'all
the
sit down,
importance and the
do y'all
power
sit
of
down sometimes and
HBCUs.
say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we started doing concerts, right? And parties.
Mhm.
And now everybody else, they got a concert attached to a game. They have celebrity
Yeah.
figures attached to a game. You guys ever sit down and think about, you know what? We've really impacted not just the Bayou Classic and not just the state, but we've impacted sports in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
But also, when she says she got Rick Ross, the biggest boss,
I'm
he's
telling
dating a New Orleans girl. So, I mean, it's only right that you come.
Oh.
that you come.
Spill the tea.
It's only right that you come to the city for Bayou Classic. Yes, ma'am. But so you mentioned a lot of things, but I'm also
Yeah.
hearing that you guys are doing the flag football game, and flag football is starting to have a surgence. It's starting to, our babies are getting, involved very early. The girls are getting involved very early. It's a real sport at this point. Real sponsorships are happening for the flag football game. And so there's a unified flag football game presented by the Special Olympics Louisiana, which is exciting, right? Can you talk to us a little bit about
Yes.
that?
Yeah, so Special Olympics, that'll be happening on Saturday as well. It's usually in the morning. Always a great event. I mean, I'm a huge supporter of Special Olympics as well. We always want to support, our folks with special needs and give them an opportunity to participate in different things. So that's always something else that we have as well. And so we encourage people to support that event as well.
And this halftime show that's happening, so we can't get any exclusives about who these folk gonna be at the half, because there's always a surprise. I feel like somebody always comes out with Southern's band, or it's always a surprise. So we just have to wait and see.
There is. So I'll give you. Okay, well they said two of them, but I hear that there's somebody else. So I'm just going to tell you two of the three. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So two of them. One is Boosie, which he can cut up, and another is Jubu Smith. So that's two of them. But let me tell you, the third one that they're holding in the pocket is big, big, big. You want to be there and see it.
It's big, big, big. Okay.
It's
I'm not.
big.
Listen, I mean, it's always a time for Southern and Grambling, but I heard you also mention that this is the third annual high school Battle of the Bands. Do you know who won in previous years? The Battle of the Bands for the high school?
I do, but I can't remember the name and don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah,
but,
don't get it wrong. Because the high school bands here in New Orleans have come to like the heights that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like
I know,
Abramson band.
Around the
Oh
world.
my God, they're amazing. Like these kids, but I mean, it's literally
That
in their
tradition is
DNA.
back.
Yeah, it's literally in their DNA. So I'm excited to see what the kids are going to do for the high school Battle of the Bands as
And
well.
also, thank you guys. I know Coach Joseph was on the sports show here at WBOK with Coach Sashery, I think last week, talking about the game and talking about Grambling, even talking about Southern and its importance. To talk about now, especially post Deion Sanders, HBCUs on ESPN, they on national television now.
Yeah. Eddie George at Tennessee State.
So that has to do a lot for the brand.
Yeah.
Not just in terms of the Bayou Classic, but also in sporting. These kids are getting another look nationally, especially from professional teams.
Yes.
Yes, and now that you even mentioned about the coaches, this is a big game for both coaches because both Southern and Grambling have new head football coaches this year. So Southern's coach, Terrence Graves, he's their new head football coach, and then Grambling State has Mickey Joseph. Yeah. So it's a big game for the both of them to see, who's going to take home that trophy on their first year as head football coach.
And what about the Lux Escape? It says following the game, the Lux Escape after party sounds like a great way to continue the celebration.
No doubt about it.
Lux, that sounds exclusive. Talk to us about
that.
That's
going to be at Common House, and so that is the official Bayou Classic after party game day party. So when you leave the game, if you're still ready to get your party on, head on out to that, of course.
So Candace Brock, what's your favorite part of the game or of the week-long celebration? Because let me tell you, I was at
it's
lunch,
an experience.
man. The restaurant was full of Southern and Grambling people. Rick Gallo was there. The other administrators from Southern. They in town. Y'all it's like they come into town a lot earlier than they used to.
Yeah.
Well, it's New Orleans.
Yeah,
you don't need a reason to party here.
Right.
They getting a party. That's they pre-gaming. That's what it's called. They pre-gaming.
Yeah, look, it's never too early to pregame.
We're talking.
I can honestly say, for me, my favorite part is probably when I wear the Bayou Classic paraphernalia, and so different people will stop me and talk to me about Bayou Classic and their experience, whether they're from Southern or Grambling. Just hearing, just the years of history they have with the game, that's probably my favorite part. And then secondly, I hate to choose an event because all of them are so amazing, but probably the Battle of the Bands and Greek Show, just because you get so much flavor jam-packed into one night. I mean, it is just, energy overload. And so I just really love that.
So, Candace, what advice would you give? Because I have a friend, a very dear friend of mine. She has two daughters. One is at Southern and one is at Grambling.
Oh, my God. And who you pulling for, Candace?
What advice do she get the split jersey, like half Southern, half Grambling? What advice do you give for her? Because somebody got to lose now.
I mean, they do, but that's family. You got to. I'm going to suggest, like you said, do the half jersey. That way, you're supporting both sides. You turn to the right when, if Southern's on that side, then you turn to the right and show your Southern side when they're winning. Then if it's Grambling, you pull and turn to the other. But, yes, she just going to have to get her little twist on and just support both.
And don't act like you ain't hear OT question now. OT say who you pulling for, Candace?
Come on now. I heard him back there. I was trying to keep going.
Well,
I'm just going to say, may the best team win.
Spoken like a true spokesperson, huh?
Well, Essence has titled itself "Parted with a Purpose," but I think too often I think the Bayou Classic, Dr. Wyatt and Miss Brock, is overlooked with the level of prominent African Americans from all over the world. Who are extensions of Southern and Grambling, who convene in this town. There's opportunities for young folk for their careers, to meet influential people. That's one of the parts of it that I really, really enjoy, especially participating with the Black Caucus and other influences, right, who create opportunity for many of the potential young graduates. I like that part of it, Ms. Brock.
Absolutely. This year we also did a scholarship as well. So we did have where two students from the New Orleans area, one who's attending Southern and another who's attending Grambling, could get scholarships. So we always want to make sure that we keep it in the city and allow for our New Orleans area students to grow and attend Southern and Grambling as well, so we can keep the tradition going.
So for those who are attending for the first time, what advice do you have to make this one of the most incredible experiences for them?
First things first, you want to plan out your events because you hear we got a lot of them. So make your schedule. Don't feel like you have to, be out there all day for everything. Just go and experience it, because it is all something to see and something to experience. If you don't have your tickets, get them now. Go to our website. Our website is mybayouclassic.com. On there, we can tell you which hotels you can get. We have special rates for select hotels near the Caesars Superdome. So you can go there and get your hotel. You can also purchase your tickets from there. Ladies, get you a clear bag. Make sure you have that clear bag, because there is a clear bag policy for entrance. So I don't want to see my friends stuck out trying to throw their bags on the side because you can't get in. Get your clear bag so that way you don't have any issues there.
They ain't throwing
and just
away no
relax
Louis
and have a
Vuittons
good
and Gucci's.
time.
Not even the ones off Canal Street.
Yeah, they ain't throwing no knockoff Louis Vuittons.
Not even the ones off
Get
Canal
your
Street.
clear bag. But first of all, Ms. Brock, thank you so much. We appreciate you and the Bayou Classic family. And all I say is we all win because of the Classic.
Yes.
And because of what it means to our young folk, man. So we appreciate
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Any final words from you? We got 30 seconds.
Sure. Last words, head on over to the website, mybayouclassic.com. We have an app. Just search your app store for Bayou Classic and check us out on Instagram, Bayou Classic 74. We look forward to seeing you all there.
Thank you, Ms. Candace Brock, spokesperson for the Bayou Classic 51st.
51st.
Be there. Yeah, are you going to be somewhere
There's
else?
no or. It's
But
just be there, period.
Enjoy the game. Have a great day and great holiday, Ms. Brock, with you and your family. God bless you. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Ali King, United Healthcare, right? It's National Diabetes Month. How do you stay healthy? How do you control your diabetes? What's the level 2 program? And, man, I want some oyster dressing, right? Cornbread dressing. And that good turkey with the gravy ooze.
The importance of eating healthy
And some
during the
apple pie.
holidays.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I went into a little trance that Dr. Wyatt brought me back home. Yes, and the importance of eating healthy during the holidays. WBOK 1230 a.m.
What New Orleans is talking about.
Whose station?
Our station.
Yeah, turkey.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 a.m. every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Good morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. An effort by the state to clear out homeless encampments in New Orleans faces a new challenge. A judge blocked troopers from relocating homeless people while some were literally packing up. Yesterday morning, WDSU received reports that troopers were rounding up unhoused people in the French Quarter and along parts of St. Charles Avenue, then relocating them to Calliope Street near Home Depot. 24-hour notices were given, but a judge ruled that the state needs to abide by all city laws before removing anyone. Thanksgiving travelers packing their bags as they prepare to head out for their holiday destinations. Whether you're hitting the road or taking flight to see your loved ones, expect heavy traffic or long lines at the airport. AAA predicts a record number of travelers this year. They say nearly 80 million people plan to travel for Thanksgiving, with the majority driving. The good news, gas prices are dropping across the country. That includes right here in Louisiana. And if you're flying, now's the time to double-check your bags and make sure any food you bring for Thanksgiving dinner won't get taken at security. TSA says things like gravy, wine, apple cider, fruits, and vegetables that weigh more than 3.4 ounces must be in a checked bag. However, baked goods are allowed through security, and any ice packs that keep dishes cold must be frozen solid at check-in. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a wonderful Tuesday.
NOLA Public Schools' main round enrollment for kindergarten through 12th grade is now open. With 73 schools available through the NOLA Public Schools Common Application Process, or NCAP, finding the right school fit for your family is easier than ever. List up to 12 choices to maximize your chances and apply by January 24th. We're all in, and we hope you are too. Apply today at enrollnolaps.gov. enrollnolaps.com. That's enrollnolaps.com.
New Orleans, it's time to invest in our children's future. I'm Eric Doc Jones, an experienced educator, proven leader, and tireless advocate for our students. I'm in the runoff election for the Orleans Parish School Board District 2. It is critical because our students deserve better. I'm honored to have the endorsement of U.S. Congressman Troy Carter, Louisiana State Senator Joseph Boyd, and Councilman Oliver Thomas. Early voting begins November the 22nd and Election Day December the 7th. Vote Eric Doc Jones, District 2, number 12 on the ballot. Our children, our responsibility. Paid for by the committee to elect Eric Doc Jones, number 12.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
We are back. That's right. With a capital B. Dr. Y and OT. Early Bird, Nyron on the box, the whole WBOK family. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Candace Bry, spokesperson for the Bayou Classic 51st event, man. More than just a game.
Yeah.
No doubt it. Everybody already rolling in town, man, and have a blessed holiday with your family this season to be thankful, right? So let's wrap ourselves in that. And we're also thankful for United Healthcare, one of our partners, man. We appreciate these segments so much, especially about educating people about what the issues are. And Allison Ali King, welcome back to the Good Morning Show.
For having me back.
Well, thank you. So first of all, Ms. King, how are you doing? And are you is you ready for the Bayou Classic and Thanksgiving? Ali King.
I am definitely ready for Thanksgiving. Bayou Classic sounds awesome, by the way. I was listening in. And that sounds like a lot of fun.
Well,
but yes, I am ready for Thanksgiving. I'm ready for the food. But I'm definitely going to try to make some healthy choices.
I want some oyster dressing. Right?
That does sound wonderful. It does.
Buku fun. So Ali King, talk about National Diabetes Month, especially, whenever we read health surveys, right? Always New Orleans is specifically. We're rotating the top three with Detroit and St. Louis, right? When you talk about obesity, chronic illnesses. So talk about National Diabetes Month, especially our challenges here in New Orleans and what you guys are doing at United Health. First of all, to make sure we highlight it and what we can do to fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. So just first of all, let's make sure that people kind of, they understand that diabetes, it's a long-lasting disease. It affects how your body turns food into energy. And there's three main types. You've got type 1, where they're insulin dependent, type 2, and then gestational diabetes is whenever someone's pregnant. It occurs when the blood sugar is too high, and it can cause a lot of damage to the body. It can affect the eyes, the kidneys, your nerves, the heart. I often say that it's very much like broken glass, that excess sugar, moving through the body and doing damage as it goes along. And you're right. You mentioned some of the statistics that, for like Louisiana, it's ranked 44th. And what that says is it's about 14.7% of adults that have reported to a healthcare provider that they have diabetes. So the national average is 11.6. So that puts Louisiana ranked a little higher than they need to be, higher than that national average. And unfortunately for blacks, the number is a little over 12% compared to 7% for the white counterparts. So what this means, you know, a lot of people say, well, why do those numbers matter? And the reason why it matters is that when you have diabetes, you're twice as likely to have heart disease or a stroke than those without diabetes. And type 2 diabetes accounts for about 90 to about 95% of all cases. And it can lead to some really big problems, such as kidney failure, non-traumatic lower limb amputations, and blindness, you know, in adults. So that can be very, very, very damaging to the body.
So November is National Diabetes Month, and it says that over 38 million people, or about 90 to 95% of them, with type 2 diabetes, and nearly 98 million have pre-diabetes. Like I those numbers feel extremely critical to me. Like it's almost like a crisis. Is it a crisis?
Yes, absolutely. And you know, you mentioned pre-diabetes. So that's a population of people that their blood glucose levels, they're high. They're just not high enough where they can be diagnosed with diabetes. And for Louisiana, it's about 34% of the adult population that falls into. And then even more alarming is that we have many, many people that are out there that don't even know that they have diabetes. So the main thing is it's important that everyone has a wellness checkup each year to detect high blood sugar early. You know, that's to try to prevent these issues and know what's going on with their body. Many insurances, like United Healthcare, they cover that wellness visit every year. So you know, that's another reason it's covered. So definitely at least once a year, get out there and go see your primary care doctor.
So what are some of the signs and symptoms of diabetes?
Yeah, great question. Some people can have just a few of these, or they may even have all of them. But let's say, for example, you're feeling very thirsty quite often, or you're urinating more often, especially at night. You're hungry. Blurred vision is something that I see quite often with my patients. You have numbness or tingling in the hands or feet. That's coming from the nerves. It's a term called neuropathy. You feel very tired. Your skin may be dry. Things are not healing as well. So if you have like a sore, for example, it's not healing well. And then often you'll have more infections than what is normal.
So what is it about, and I mentioned earlier, when you talk about chronic illnesses and diabetes, heart disease, but especially around diabetes, and I know this is National Diabetes Month, what have you guys diagnosed with your team about our region, and why in Louisiana, and especially in southern Louisiana, we have so many cases per capita? What is it about our diet and lifestyle, and what are some of the things we can do?
Well, and you know, a lot of people they've researched this, trying to figure out why that it's more common in certain people compared to others. And they're still researching it, obviously, but a lot of the things that they've found is that looking at certain body types, so if you're more likely to be overweight or obese, your diet, your lifestyle, also genes plays a really important role there. They looked at one study in 2018, and they found that biological risk factors like the weight and that fat around the abdomen are primarily responsible for higher rates of diabetes in Black Americans compared to white Americans or Hispanics or Asians. And so the best thing that we can do, African Americans as well as all Americans, is to try to avoid diabetes, is to live a healthier lifestyle. That's very important. That includes exercising each day, at least 30 minutes. eating a low-fat, low-sugar, a diet that's rich in vegetables and fruits and whole grains. Whole grains are very important. In the United States, we often eat things that are not complex carbohydrates like whole grains.
We mentioned some of the common symptoms that we talked about that earlier, but there are a lot of people who will live a long life and then they have an episode later in life and they're not even aware that they have diabetes. How common is that?
It is. It's very common. Especially, I find that in the South, we've got a lot of people that are walking out there that do not realize that they even have diabetes. And that's what I was talking about earlier. That is the reason why we want to be sure that we have a wellness checkup with our primary care doctor at least once a year, so that when they do draw your blood or when they check a urine test, diabetes, it can be easily diagnosed through both of those. And then we can do something about it. You know, there's a lot of different things once you see your physician to be able to take care of your diabetes. So get those wellness checkups every year.
So with the price of insulin being almost unaffordable for most families, what is the healthcare industry doing to address this issue to make insulin more affordable?
Yes, United Healthcare actually, let's see, it was last January, they made it where it's now the price is stabilized, and so it's making it more affordable for any people that need it.
And so what are some of the programs and resources that people with type 2 diabetes can use?
So there's a lot of resources that we have out there. There's a variety of them, also technologies, including like virtual care options, through health care plans like United Healthcare. And the main thing is that people need to get out there and talk to their employer about the programs that they have available to help manage or improve their type 2 diabetes. One of the programs that United Healthcare has is the Level 2 program, and eligible employees have access to a continuous glucose monitor, which is fantastic. It can check your blood sugar throughout the day, and a care team of doctors, nurses like me, coaches, registered dietitians to talk to them about food and the correct things to choose. And they can work with them one-on-one to support their journey. Also through Level 2 Assured Value Program, eligible employers with more than 125 employees with type 2 diabetes will have 100% of program fees reconciled against the medical and pharmacy claims. So a lot of good programs out there with United Healthcare, but there's others out there as well. They just need to check with their employer.
So listen, Oliver's looking forward to some oyster dressing. I want my Auntie Val's cornbread dressing.
That too.
Can you give us some healthy eating tips that can help get us through the holidays?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I eat a leaf with the oyster dressing? Yeah.
Yes. So you can have that oyster dressing, absolutely. But we just need to plan our portions. One of the things that I love is the plate method. And what that basically is on your plate, half of your plate would be filled with the healthier, like vegetables, that kind of thing. And then a fourth of your plate, it can be that, for example, oyster dressing. And then the other fourth of your plate, of course, your proteins like your meat.
So what you're trying to say to me is we can't have a plate of oyster dressing and just wash it down with fruit. We can't do that.
Half cornbread dressing, half oyster dressing. That's what I want on
you
my
may
plate.
have it. I'm all about. I don't ever like to say no. You cannot have so and so. You just have to plan it and portion it out where it makes sense. And then some other advice I would give is avoid emotional, eating. You don't if you're really, really, really hungry or you're feeling emotional or stressed, you don't want to, dig into a cheese ball whenever you're cranky. What I would recommend is if you are a little stressed, go for a walk. Go somewhere where you can have some quiet time. Any of those things that will work. Just don't dig into the
now, Allie,
cheese ball.
You got to clarify this for me. I'm reading your brief, and I'm like, hold on a second, Allie. Indulge selectively. Hold on. So how do them two words go together? Hey guys, we're talking to Allie King. This is National Diabetes Month, and in the United Healthcare brief, right? They say indulge selectively. Please explain that to me.
Like I was telling you, you want to basically build your plate where you can have some of the things that are not so good for you and not so good for your blood sugar, but you can also, a lot of people come with a lot of different vegetables and fruits and things like that. Just build your plate where that side of the plate is a little bit larger, where you have all those great vegetables.
Okay.
So she's saying don't wrap your oyster dressing in bacon.
Something healthy.
Right. Well,
you can show up with something healthy.
I don't eat pork. I just love crispy bacon.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love bacon? Absolutely.
I don't eat pork.
I just love crispy bacon. So figure that one out, Allie. But now you also have a list of go-to foods, right? And you mentioned it earlier. I've just started eating cranberry dressing as I've gotten older. I like to mix it with my oyster dressing, right? But cranberries, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and pumpkin.
I can't do I could do the rest. Pumpkin, no.
All of that sounds wonderful to me. I am very much a vegetable and fruit kind of girl, so they sound wonderful. But yeah, cranberries are fantastic for you. A lot of times they call it the superfood because it's high in vitamin C, A, K, and sweet potatoes are, I mentioned earlier about complex carbohydrates are really good for us. Sweet potatoes fall into that.
So let me ask you something, Allie.
Great.
Sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie?
I'd rather sweet potato pie.
Listen, I was about to say, because baby, we were about to
sweet potato pie.
We were gonna have a problem in here, like
with the real butter to make it.
Yeah,
that's easy.
You answered that one correctly, Allie. We sweet potato people over here.
I like sweet potatoes.
That's a good choice.
I think y'all mentioned Brussels sprouts.
Yes.
Great for you. Anything green. Come on.
Now I just started eating Brussels sprouts as an adult.
Yeah, me too.
They are so good.
Brussels sprouts.
In the air fryer.
You can do so many things with them. It's fantastic.
So Allie, it's and this is the first time I realized you can have more than one kind of diabetes. You can actually be a person that's suffering with both. How do you manage that, right? Because in some cases the symptoms can be different, but that has to be extremely difficult. Or can you have a program? Can you meet with a United Healthcare advisor that can help you manage both and do it correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned earlier the Level 2 program for those that have diabetes. It could be, they could have type 1, type 2, or like I said, gestational diabetes. That would be a great program for them. And you're talking about, I think you said a type 1 diabetic. That is the person that is insulin dependent. Type 2, they don't necessarily have to be on insulin. It could be either or. And there's a lot of different medications, that are available for all three of those people that have the different types of diabetes. Level 2 is great. Another place that people can go for information is www.uhc.com. They can find out more information about the different programs that are offered out there. The American Diabetes Association is a really great resource as well for those that are looking for more information about diabetes. And then just really making sure that you're going to your doctor for your checkups and speaking to that physician whenever you go in. Bring a list of questions that you may have. And utilize the resources that they have there to offer. Some will have diabetes educators in the office, especially endocrinologists. They have also dietitians that can take care of them. So it's definitely a team effort there whenever you're trying to take care of your diabetes.
So what are some quick takeaways you can give to our listeners to help them prevent or lower their chances of diabetes?
My main thing that I really focus on with my patients as well is that they really need to see a primary care doctor once a year at least. And then after that, go to their regular checkups. But we're never going to know what category we're in, whether we have diabetes, pre-diabetes, if we don't see our doctor. The other thing is eat well. We talked about this earlier, but eat. I'm very much all about eating. You just have to build your plate the correct way. And then exercise. Exercise is not difficult. You can get out there and walk for 30 minutes. You don't have to join a gym. That is free. We can all do it. And so exercise is a really big deal as well, for especially those that do have diabetes.
And where can people go for more information?
So for more information, for United Healthcare information, I would go to www.uhc.com. And then the Level 2 program that I talked about earlier, they can go to www.mylevel2.com.
Wow. So thank you so much as always. And please thank the United Healthcare family. And Allison King, thank you for your participation, your partnership. These segments, people always look forward to them. We even have discussions about them, and they're very helpful when you talk about our quality of life and information for quality of life. We were having fun, but a lot of the things you talked about and you recommended make a major difference, and we hear you. We really do. God bless you and the United Healthcare family. Have a wonderful holiday season with y'all families.
Thank you. You too. Thank you very much.
No doubt about it, man. Wow. So Bayou Classic, eat right. So I am. I'm gonna mix up my plate. I'm gonna have half oyster dressing and half cornbread dressing.
Allie didn't say nothing about half. She said a fourth.
Oh.
That's what she said, a fourth.
Oh.
You weren't listening to that.
I missed that.
Yeah, you missed that. Yeah. Not a half, a fourth.
You'll be listening. I thought I interpreted it.
You did.
I thought she said mix your plate up.
She did not.
I'm
a fourth. She said a fourth of oyster dressing.
Leave me alone, Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going to break. I'm going to break, and I'm going to come back and fool with you after break. Gonna make me cut up my plate. Half oyster dressing and half of your auntie.
That's not what she said.
Cornbread dressing. WBOK 1230 a.m.
What New Orleans is talking about.
I guess what I need to be listening to. Too.
All day long.
Whose station?
Our station.
It's our station.
Somebody half. It's not.
This is your news update for WBOK 1230 AM from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Expect a few scattered showers before noon, then partly to mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s. A few spots will develop patchy fog tonight as lows fall to the 50s. Wednesday has a small chance for scattered showers. Thursday has a chance to see thunderstorms with a low risk for severe weather. Highs, though, will be into the mid-70s, and a cold front will drop temperatures for your Friday. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Metropolitan Human Services District wants to remind you that treatment is effective and everyone can recover. If you are looking for a recovery program and you live in the Orleans, St. Bernard, or Plaquemines Parish, visit mhsdla.org or call 504-568-3130. Recovery is possible, and MHSD is here to help. Metropolitan Human Services District, where we change lives.
Join Inspire NOLA Charter Schools, Freddie King, Hancock Whitney, Six War Steppers, and more for 2 NOLA Love Drive-Thru Turkey and Ham giveaways. On Tuesday, November 26th, the first giveaway begins at 9 a.m. in Algiers at Alice Hart Charter School, and the second giveaway begins at 2 p.m. in historic Treme at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. Receive a free turkey or ham and food items while supplies last. We'll see you there. Learn more at inspirenolaschools.org.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Hello, WBOK listening audience. This is Pastor Robert Tanner of the Community Church of River Ridge, Louisiana, inviting you to tune in to our Sunday morning broadcast at 10 a.m. every Sunday morning right here on WBOK 1230 AM. That's Community Church with Pastor Robert Tanner every Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on WBOK 1230.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversation.
Hey everybody, it's Kimber White Dupree.
And it's Graylin Brian Banks from the front porch. We're coming up next.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
We are back, right? 50 minutes past the top of the hour. We're rolling in the hump day, y'all. Dr. White already knows. That's my favorite day.
It is.
And Doc, I hear you.
1/4.
I hear you. A 4.
But I got a suggestion.
Okay.
You could eat 1/4 at like 12 o'clock.
Right.
And then like by 2 o'clock, you could have another 4th. I hope Ellie not listening to this because she's going to be like, Dr. White, that's not
No, Doc, no.
I guess she said indulge selectively. That's what we're doing. We're selecting to eat 1/4.
See, Dr. White sit here in all of her splendor and slim fineness, right? Like, it's, because you're already healthy.
Listen,
You're already
I'm
in
just
perfect
saying.
condition.
I'm just saying.
Your metabolism still metab.
It's still moving.
Your metabolism still metab. My metabolism just ism.
But you got to be here for the long haul, so you can't have half a plate of oyster dressing and a half a plate of cornbread dressing.
Children.
You got to have something green and leafy in there, some fruit. Yeah.
Let me make you laugh.
Ollie gonna have you running around that pole.
Ollie. See, right?
Yes, I do.
We'll go walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at some point while we walking,
he gonna start running.
Daddy, let's run.
Mm-hmm. I worked out with my son.
Ooh, Lord.
I made the mistake of working out with my son, and I'm thinking, he with his mama, he not gonna try to do too much.
Yes, he is.
That boy lapped me and everything on the track. I was like, I can't. I'm just gonna in a moment go at
of our pleasure,
my rate.
Leisure stroll.
Yes, that's it. That's
Daddy,
it.
let's run.
Let's run. He full of energy.
Yeah. Or let me tell you the thing. I despise. Mm-hmm. I know how to talk, y'all. I'm messing with y'all. I despise the most.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting down on the couch watching the game, but just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And then he get this, let's wrestle. I'm saying, Lord, why you got to do the voice, bruh?
Listen.
Now, I got my leg lifted because I've been walking on it.
You picked that.
Yes, Bayou Classic is.
We have where you go get your little young pretty thing. You picked that.
This is the 51st. This is the 51st Bayou Classic. Guys, Rick Ross is going to be performing, and Candace Brock, wonderful spokesperson,
mm-hmm.
and Allie King just said that we can deal with diabetes and National Diabetes Month.
Eat well,
and we can
exercise
eat well.
Mm-hmm.
We can do a 4th and a 4th.
Uh-huh.
And
you said there was so much disdain at 4th.
And yes, we can. And you on your way out of town.
Houston. My family's meeting up in Houston. That's where everybody wants to go. I'm just saying, that's where everybody wants to go. So my auntie Val is going to probably be doing a lot of the cooking.
The choices we make.
Yeah, choices. You chose that. I mean, he's on Russell.
That's right. Yeah, wrestling got me in trouble.
Yes, it did.
You bad. Yeah. I'm gonna talk to my mom up in heaven today. I'm gonna tell her on you. Why would you? Line number 1, Miss Alicia. Good morning. You're on with Dr. Wyatt No T.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Same to you and your family.
Oliver, every time I hear you talk about you and Ollie, I think I told you before that you remind me of my dad. My dad's dad. My grandfather was born in 1870.
Wow.
And my dad was the 13th of 14 children, so he made my daddy when he was 59 years old. He made the last child at 65.
Wow.
Rolling Stone, wasn't he?
Papa
when I think
powerful.
Pops was old. Like I said, he was born in 18. He was 18,
old no more.
born in 1870.
No more.
So I think about you, and that there's a story of my dad. My dad was cutting up. He must have been about 8, 9 years old. He was cutting up. And his mom wanted to chastise him. So my dad ran out the door and went under the house. So my grandmother kept calling him. He wouldn't come from under the house. So my grandmother, wait till your daddy gets here. So he was under there all day. So when my grandfather got home, my grandmother told him, what he did, and he's under the house. So my grandfather said he was a tall man. There he gets. So he had to be much older if he made my daddy at 59.
Right.
And my daddy was 7, 8 years old under the house. So there's my grandfather leaning down to go up under the house to get my daddy. And my daddy says, Pop, what's the matter? Did you make Mama mad too? You coming up under the house?
Well, I'm glad I ain't got no under the house. But look,
you running from Mama? What did you do?
Oh my!
Get his bad behind.
No doubt. Well, happy Thanksgiving and blessings to you and your family.
Happy Thanksgiving, Miss Alicia.
Thank you for what you do to support us. God bless you. Right? The other thing I'll do now is he wait till I come inside and he hide.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same stuff I used to do my sister. You can really see stuff in your kids come out.
But he's gonna keep you young though.
Oh,
he's gonna keep you vibrant. I'm telling you,
ain't no doubt about
because if you stop moving, you're just gonna become a Walmart door greeter, and you don't want to be there, right? You don't want to be at the door greeting people at the door. You got to keep going.
I know.
That's how you keep the blood flowing.
Well, now I want to even though we got a couple minutes left, I want to get back to I like digging and picking your brain because unlike most people, I know you're thoughtful, right? You don't say anything. You know its impact going to be. You're like a lawyer. You don't say nothing because you know the answer.
Yeah.
What plays should we run?
Well, I mean,
give me a play.
I think that whatever the play is, the outcome or the goal has to be for the betterment of Black folk. Right? That's just what it is. It has to be able to uplift us as a people. And if whatever play you drawing up doesn't equate to that, then that's the wrong play. Go back. And I mean, I'm at the point where I'm feeling like throw the whole book away that we have. It's not working. It's not giving us anything.
Right.
And if you can't respect anything about the president-elect, you can respect the fact that he walks it just like he talk it. He tell you very plainly what he gonna do. He gonna lie to your face. And then gonna come back and say, "Yeah, I lied. Yeah, I lied." Like he don't duck
Remember the debate with Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
He said, "Yeah,
I did.
He said,
"Yeah." He don't have no qualms about it.
He said, "I use the system you created."
I think we are more concerned about what it looks like and not necessarily what it is.
Yes.
He cares about what it is, and what it is we have to win. Whatever the cost is, we pay it because we want to win. And we have not gotten to that point where we put us at the forefront of whatever agenda it is and work for that.
And that's the OT moment from the Book of Wyattism. At the end of the day, whatever play you run, it has to be because it's a play that helps you win.
Yeah, you ought to be tired of losing.
And the moral of
We've mastered the art of losing. Right? We've been at the bottom for a long time. I'm trying to see what the top look like.
Well, as we roll in the hump day,
Yeah.
Nyron, look, it ain't the side porch or the back porch.
It's the front porch.
Ryan
Y'all
and
next
Kimber
with
gonna be on
Braylon
the
and
front
Kimber.
porch.
Oh, Ryan.
Braylon
okay.
must be doing the moving.
He's so important. But y'all don't forget it's early voting. Early voting is right now to November 30th, excluding Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Please get out and vote.
And don't forget the early vote and tune in for
Yes.
Kimber and Ryan, guys. And Ryan, thank you so much for sitting in. Good brother. And of course, Kimber always, like Dr. Wyatt, big brain, right? Never insane. Hey, multifaceted, ain't never no grain. And guess what? She give it to you real, complicated, or sometimes plain.
This trap
Kimber
poetry
Dupree,
Tuesday.
Trap poetry, baby. You heard me. Nyron on the box, man. Dr.
Super
Wyatt
producer.
OT.
Yeah.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
See y'all
WBOK
tomorrow.
12:30 a.m.
What New Orleans is talking
And
about.
whose station?
Our
It's
station.
our station.